All right. Tone, what's your immediate impression after last night's episode?
Well, season 3 I love, and I've read a lot recently that it's gotten some more critical reviews than season 2. I think it's because it's a slower paced season. But I actually like this season a lot because I feel like it works on a few different levels. You can take it from, like, even someone like Pete, you love talking about your recovery journey. That's like kind of a big theme in this series that, like even last night, as the guy's kind of doing like some meditation work, the woman says to him, "You can leave your story behind."
Dude, that was an amazing moment.
That's an amazing moment. You can leave your story, the story you've been telling yourself your whole life. You can let go of that. You can give yourself permission to let go of that. So I thought that was like really a deep, intense scene. So you can watch the show on that level. You can watch the show on just the murder mystery level. So no, I think that's what makes the show a great show. Even the director, Mike White, said, you've got beautiful people, you've got beautiful locations, and you've got a murder mystery. So he's like, for a good director, that's like easy.
Who is in right now?
Gonna want to tune in for that.
Who's in the biggest jam right now? What character?
Well, I think the father from North Carolina is in the biggest jam. Well, no, I mean, that's the thing. So I think that's what he's done a really good job framing it. They're kind of all are, that they're lonely. They're lonely too. They feel alone. That's what I feel like I've noticed the most from this this season, that every single major character who's in a crisis feels alone. They feel misunderstood. And I feel like that's maybe a message that Mike White is talking about, that technology has made us feel alone. And remember that everyone's supposed to give over their cell phones to the White Lotus Hotel when they get there, and they won't do it. They feel like it's almost like it's like a part of their body now that they can't let go of. And I certainly identify with that. Like even during Lent this year, I'm trying to do less on social media. I'm trying to stop looking at my phone all the time. So I feel like that's a message that resonates for almost everybody in today's world. And what it's done is it's made us all a little bit more lonely, because you're less likely to just go out into the world and encounter other people than just to hide within your technology. And that's another big message, which is, are you going to Thailand? Are you going there to hide or to seek?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a huge part of it, you know?
What is the character, in your opinion, Michelle Monaghan, the actor? What is she going through right now?
The one that's the celebrity woman. Yeah. So that last episode, I feel like she feels sort of, I think she's like obsessed with youth. And so, and no matter what, there's nothing you can do about that. So that's a part of acceptance that she clearly hasn't, that like everybody gets old. And so now, like, because she hasn't accepted that, then basically it's leading to anger and upsetment. And so she's constantly trying to push against that. And now she wants to, it sounds like she's like in her early 50s in the show.
Yeah.
She basically wants to act like someone in their 20s. And that's going to be no good. So that's
even her like demographic tone with like the older crowd at the pool. Like, so she's probably on one of these like CBS dramas, right? Like NCIS or Blue Bloods. So like that's her sweet spot, and she can't stand it, right?
She can't stand the people. That's also like it's made her lonely. That like all of this desire to escape being getting old has ultimately made her lonely, because she's less likely to just go encounter real people. So when she gets to a place with real people, she's like, nah, I don't want to do this. They're all old. I want to go be with young people, you know? And it's made her more lonely. So, no, I feel like that's where the show really works for me, is that if you just want to have fun and deal with a murder mystery, you can watch on that plane. If you want to see beautiful things, you can watch on that plane. If you want something that's a little bit more philosophically intense, you can watch it that way. So I feel like he's really succeeding this season.
What are some theories that you have about some of these characters, like Rick, what he's going through? We talked about Michelle Monaghan's character. How about Greg? You know, like I know you've got all this insight and all these theories. Drop a couple of them.
My theory, so I'll drop a couple of them. My theory on Rick is that he's going through a lot with his father being dead. I have a theory, maybe the father's still alive. That's actually from Murph. The father might be still alive, so I think that's an interesting one. But I think he's ultimately going to be a hero of the show. I think he's going to take the advice of the woman who he's working with in the meditation sessions, and to let the past, let the story he's been telling himself, let it go. I think he's going to be a hero. That's my theory on him. I feel like the father from North Carolina, he's done this bad thing financially. He's kind of, it seems like, been not a great person. So, but now he's going to have a choice this week. Does he hide or seek? And so I have some theories about that. I have one optimistic view. One optimistic view may be that he ends up staying there because he does need to hide from, he has to hide from the government, but maybe that ends up being something that's like his own interior growth. So that could be a positive. The negative could be that, he kind of continues down this bad road of just numbing yourself with drugs. And so I feel like there's a lot of roads that could happen with him. I think the guy Greg is going to get caught. I think he's going to be some way part of the major murder. That's my suspicion on Greg. And then
which one is Greg? Which one is Greg?
Well, if you go, Greg's the guy who.
Oh yeah, the bald guy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The bald guy. So he's there. Is he hiding or seeking? And my theory is he's going to be somehow part of the murder. The kids, if you remember the very first season, they're there, and the Schwarzenegger character, he's wearing glasses. He looked just like his dad in that boat ride. And then you've got the girl has headphones on, and then the younger boy is covering his mouth. So it's see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, right? And then there's a monkey in the last episode that basically has all those three characteristics. Their eyes are covered, their mouth is covered, and their ears are covered. So there's something about that. Ultimately, my gut is that nothing's going to end up happening within those three kids, other than maybe hopefully some personal growth. But I feel like they're there as more of as setting pieces.
Okay, a couple more. I know you got to go. Is this the worst security guard we've ever seen in our lives?
He is, but maybe I think that's the point over there. They're not as obsessed with security as we are in America, and but they've got a lot of people from the West that visit. So no, I think he's going to be a hero within the story. That's my suspicion. So I have a feeling that he's going to be one of the heroes here.
I'll tell you from my experience. You mentioned the recovery piece. When Tim is going to those pills, it's very relatable. I think even you don't have to be a recovering addict or a current addict to connect to that. He just wants to numb out, and it keeps picking up. It's more and more and more because he needs it, right?
Yes. And also I think that he doesn't want to look at it. He doesn't want to look at what it is that's bothering him. And really, that's not a good. That's not the numb out. That's not a healthy thing for the future. Obviously, and they're really showing that you're better off just looking at it, and then you're going to come up with much better solutions when you do that.
All right, Tony Hayden breaking down episode 4 of White Lotus. Tony, you don't support your beautiful family talking about White Lotus, so I'll let you get to work. And we'll talk next week after episode 5.
The kids are gonna listen into this podcast because they're into it too.
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, I'll holler at you later.
All right. Thanks, brother.
All right, man. Tony Hayden on White Lotus. We're going to step aside, take one last break, and we'll come back and we'll wrap it up. Thanks to Zach Burke back at home. The Pete Souza Show, presented by Slovacek, rolls on after this.